Hi there, Crunchies. Today I am going to talk about some issues that have to do with the word scammer. So, I am not going to be able to talk about every single part of this and every way that people scam, but I think that this word is being thrown around way too lightly at people who are completely innocent. And so I wanted to talk about that. So lately, I've noticed people calling other people scammers because they don't want to trade an item back after they've done a trade. So let me tell you this, if you make a trade with someone, you should not expect a trade back. That doesn't make the person a scammer. Now, if before you did the trade, you had an agreement with the person saying, hey, we're doing a trade back. And, whether for today we do trade backs or for the next week, whatever your agreement is, and then they don't follow through with that agreement after you've said, hey, you promised we'd do trade backs and now I'd like a trade back and it's still within, our agreement time and they won't trade back, then you can label them a scammer. But if you never talk to them about, hey, do you do trade backs? Or, hey, what if I'd like my item back? If you never said anything like that and you trade your items for their item, then that's a trade. The deal is done. And, just because your friend comes up to you and says, hey, oh, that wasn't fair. Oh, you could have got more. Or you just decide you don't like this item. You don't get to go and call someone a scammer for that. You can, but you're wrong. That doesn't mean they're a scammer. So if you're doing that, you need to stop. Something you can do is start making a trade back agreement with people before you do that. But I'm seeing people getting bullied over this when in reality, all they did was make a trade and they like the trade, so they want to keep the item. That doesn't make them a scammer if no one agreed to trade backs in the beginning. So that's the first point that I wanted to make. A couple others are if someone doesn't want to trade you. I've seen people calling other people scammers because they didn't want to trade them their item. That's ridiculous. That person just doesn't want your stuff. So stop being salty and move on and trade someone else. Don't call people scammers because you don't like them. Sometimes, one person doesn't want to be your friend, so you're going to go and tell everyone that they're a scammer and lie. That's not cool. Stop doing that. That hurts people's feelings. You're in the wrong just like that other person is in the wrong for not being friends with you. That's not cool. Don't do that. Don't just call someone a scammer because you don't like them. Not cool. Don't just call someone a scammer because they don't feel like trading you. Oh, well, they don't have to trade you your items. And I've also noticed that people instantly will call someone a scammer if they're asking for an item that is over what their item is worth. So, trade me a raccoon tail for my flower crown. You don't know that they're a scammer. Maybe they just have no clue what they're talking about and they're very young and trying to figure out the game and they're like, I'd love a raccoon tail. You know what? I think I'll just ask for one. So that doesn't instantly make them a scammer, and everyone ganging up on that person doesn't make them a scammer. If you go to them and say, actually, that's not a fair trade and you shouldn't be asking for a raccoon tail for your flower crown, and then they go, oh, okay, I won't do that, then they're not a scammer. If they're like, I don't care if it's not fair, give me a raccoon tail, well, then they may possibly be a scammer. So you guys just stop ganging up on everyone and calling them a scammer instantly and be responsible for your trades. Make sure you research your trades before you actually do them, or make sure you have a trade back agreement, because it's not fair to go to someone like 2, 3, 4, 5 days, however many, if you don't have a trade back agreement and then say, I want to trade back, and then tell everyone they're a scammer, because that's not true. If you didn't have an agreement and you decided on the trade, then that's your own fault, and you don't get to put the blame on the other person and call them a scammer. So let's just stop doing that and focus more on making trade back agreements. And if the person says, no, I don't want to do trade backs, then maybe you shouldn't trade them. If you really want to have the availability of having a trade back, then you need to trade with people who are okay with that. And you need to know that before you make the trade. So before I end this video, I just wanted to warn you guys about like a speed challenge scam, or like, I think they call it like a timing scam or something, but you try to like accept their item really quickly, and supposedly if you accept it really fast, then they'll give it to you, like, if here's a free raccoon tail. And then at the end, like, they'll do it like 3 times, and then they'll switch the item you're trading to you, like a really unrare item, and then you go to accept it for something that you have really good on trade, and then you get scammed. So don't do this challenge at all. Basically, if you see someone who's offering up a game for an item, like, it's probably a scam, or if it just seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true, and you're gonna get scammed. Don't let people try on your items. Don't let people into your accounts. Those are all things that are going to get you scammed. If someone says, hey, whoever gives me the best trade is going to win my blackout spike, I promise you, they're not going to give you your blackout spike. You're just going to get scammed. So those are true scammers, you guys, and you need to keep an eye out for that. So if you have seen other scams, please do comment down below so you can share with everyone, ways people are scamming other people. I just want to really stress the fact that you need to have really open communication with the people you're trading with. If it's a really big trade, especially if it's big betas, I mean, you guys know already a lot of values of things. So, just make sure you're being smart about it. Talk to the person you want trade backs. So I personally do trade backs, but that doesn't mean that everyone else has to do trade backs. It's just something you need to find out before you make the trade with someone. So I really do love you all. I hope you're having a great weekend so far, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.